Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Behind the Hammer. We hope this week's a little more exciting than last week. We hired some guys. We fired a guy. That's 2 weeks in a row we fired someone. He got fired the same day he was hired. He wasn't a good fit. It's okay. He was cool with it. He realized he wasn't a good fit. And we got one job done, one job almost done. And we got some really cool projects we looked at. It was a really good week overall. And hope you enjoy the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Started off the day onboarding 2 guys, and Cassidy fired one of them before the day was even over.
All right, it's recording. Look like you're working. Quick.
There's my rant for the day. Maybe he'll watch this and then we definitely won't get the job. Perfect. Well, welcome to Ferrobuilt. So the first thing we'll sign off on here, I don't know if you found us on TikTok and you've seen our social media stuff. So obviously, like videoing and all that's a big thing. So it's just a media release agreement. Basically, we can run through it, but it's basically saying that you allow us to video you, take pictures. You're going to be in the videos, pictures, and that it's a mandatory condition of employment. That if for some reason you don't want to be in any videos or photos, you'd basically be resigning from the job. You're not paid to be a model here. And that Ferrobuilt owns all the media that we record and everything, and that you're not going to hold us liable for anything with it. So that's which one here. So you just fill out full name, email. You don't have to worry about this part. This would be if you're under 18, so just fill out down to this line with that. Okay, got her done. Perfect. Good. And I'll go over the employment agreement. These are essentially the same. You're being hired as a laborer, you're hired as a framer or post-frame tech, is what we call it here. So you can fill out this top bit. So that's just the 5th day of May, and write your name in there, and then we'll start our way through it. So our mission here at Ferrobuilt is to create exceptional experiences for our customers, and those experiences change how our customers see contractors and the construction industry. Our vision is to do that for over 100,000 people over the next 10 years. And our core values, which aren't just words on a wall, we actually go over them every day in our daily all team, but we make decisions by these. So it's inspirational. We don't show up just to do our job, but we show up to get better every day. Accountable. We hold ourselves and each other accountable to the mission, the vision, and the values. We're disciplined. We do what we say we're going to do. Transparent. We have big goals and are moving quickly. So our team has full transparency into the priorities of our clients, the teams, and the organization in order to prioritize the work we do to get us all closer to our goals. And align. So we align the business goals with every team member's personal, professional, and financial goals. So when our team wins, the company wins. And results oriented, it says results matter. Every service that we deliver has one goal: deliver exceptional results. I always say nothing matters if we're not getting results, obviously. So job title for you, that's going to be post-frame labor. You've got post-frame tech. So general duties and responsibilities are fairly similar. You're responsible for assisting in construction, repair, and maintenance of post-frame buildings. We do some other work as well, but that's the majority of it. And supporting the lead tech and other crew members to ensure high quality craftsmanship and efficient project completion. Duties include, but are not limited to, assisting with framing, cladding, general construction tasks, handling materials, tools, equipment safely and efficiently, following instructions from the lead post-frame tech and project supervisor, helping to train for, actually yours is helping to train other laborers and summer students and stuff. Maintaining clean and organized work site, ensuring compliance with company safety policies and procedures, communicating professionally with team members and clients, and traveling to various job sites as needed. So you report to the lead post-frame tech, and the work schedule is approximately 10 hours a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and overtime is expected and required on most weeks. We're based at Enderby here. We work across British Columbia. 80% of the work's local and 20% of it's out of town. So go over more of that in a bit here. Hourly wage, so you're going to write in there 22 and you're 30, and it's based on experience and qualifications. There's additional opportunity to earn pay through lead generation, and we have performance pay as well, which we're going to go over in a minute. The pay schedule's on the 1st and 15th of every month, and there's health and dental insurance available after 90 days of employment, and your vacation pay is paid out in every paycheck. Full-time position, there's a probation period of 90 days. That's like basically a trial period. That's your benefits stuff doesn't come in until after 90 days, and in the 90 days, the way it works legally is like you can be fired for, we don't have to have a reason, it's all after the 90 days, a little more permanent, right? Work safety, so you got to show up to work, alert, rested, and attentive, and the big one for us is fall protection regulations must be followed at all times. If someone's not following them, we'll fire them. Like that's a immediate termination thing. There's big fines if we aren't tied off. Like if they show up to a site and you're not wearing your fall protection, it's like $10,000 fine. So unless you guys like paying $10,000 fines, I don't. So we take it pretty serious, mostly for that reason, and then also, a lot of times it's good so you don't fall off and kill yourself. You got to provide your own basic tool belt and framing tools. The company provides all other necessary equipment and power tools. When travel is required, accommodations are provided, and you get $75 per day living out allowance, LOA. Termination conditions. Typically, employer-initiated termination is going to begin with a verbal warning, followed by a performance improvement plan. Immediate termination would occur for severe infractions, including intoxication, so being on drugs or alcohol at work, fighting or disrespect. And it goes over a little more detail right there. If you show up drunk or high, immediately terminated, or if you're drinking alcohol or using drugs at work, immediately terminated. If you're fighting with employees, clients, vendors, or subcontractors, disrespecting other employees, clients, vendors, or subcontractors, or if you're not following the fall protection regulations. Professional development. As you grow in the company, there might be opportunities to attend workshops and training and leadership and that sort of thing. And if that's something that you're interested in, as you can see, I do a lot of reading. So I've always got books and stuff to recommend if you're ever interested in trying to better yourself as a person or leader. So performance reviews, there's a PPF meeting. It's called Personal, Professional, Financial Goals is what that stands for, meeting. And that's conducted at 90 days of employment. That's basically where we go over your 1, 3, and 5 year goals, personally, professionally, and financially, and we write them down, and then we show you how the Faro bill can help you get there. And then there's an annual performance review. So just sign the bottom here, signature and the date. We don't just build structures or buildings, we build high performance teams. The performance pay program is designed to reward efficiency, teamwork, and quality so that when we win, you win too. So this guide, you're going to keep this with you. If you ever have any questions about it, it should all be answered in here. It's going to help you understand how the performance pay works, how to maximize your earnings, what affects your bonus, and how to avoid mistakes that might cost you money. So every job has a set number of hours, and if the crew finishes faster than expected, you earn half of the hours saved as a bonus. So the bonus is split among the crew based on the percentage of time each person worked on the job. Bonuses are paid at your normal hourly rate and can be taken as paycheck money, which is taxed, or as a fuel or grocery gift card, which is tax-free. So how to maximize your earnings. Work smarter. It says work smarter, not harder. That should say work smarter and harder, because you got to do both. If you're not working hard, you're probably not going to save hours. So use efficient building techniques, plan ahead, try to minimize driving time, which is more on the guys that are picking up the material with the trucks. Avoid rework, like if there's mistakes, like try to catch mistakes right away, because if you have to go back and fix it, that takes a lot more time. Think like an owner, reduce material waste, try not to cut stuff up and have a whole big scrap pile at the end of the job, try and keep that minimized. Keep it organized on site. Messy site means it takes longer, which means less chance of getting a bonus. And speak up if something's inefficient. If you see something that's really inefficient, then bring it to someone's attention, to the lead's attention. If they are just blowing it off, not paying attention, bring it to my attention, and we'll see if there's a way we can be more efficient. But for the most part, the best way to do it is just work really hard and efficiently, like quickly. be moving quickly all the time, as you know, and that's how you save hours. Hours can add up quick. Like if you have 4 guys on site, that's 40 hours in a day, in a 10-hour day. So in a 500-hour job, or say in a 400-hour job, you're 10 days, right, of hours is in there. But you save 1 day, you already save 40 hours. If there's a callback that, say we have to go back 2 weeks later and fix something, then there's no performance pay paid, period. So follow the plan, double check work before calling it done, and then aim for a 5-star review. Satisfied customers equals bonuses paid. Do a final walkthrough with the customer and ask for the review, so that the lead's going to do the final walkthrough. So your performance pay depends on these factors. Job is finished under the allotted hours. Job is profitable overall. So if for some reason the job wasn't profitable, like you wrecked a whole bunch of material and had to buy new material or something happened, then you're not there's no performance pay. Doesn't matter where we come in on the hours if the job's not profitable. No callbacks within 30 days of job completion, and the job receives a 5-star review from the customer. One bad mistake could cost the whole crew their bonus. Make sure you're helping the team win, not just yourself. So when you'll get paid, performance pay is calculated after job completion and is paid out 1 month after job completion to allow time for review and callbacks. And you can choose to receive it as added to your paycheck or a fuel or grocery gift card. So here's some ways to work as a team so you can get jobs done more efficiently and earn a bigger performance pay. Is keep everyone on the same page, help each other solve problems. Don't let little mistakes slide. If you see something that will cause a callback later, fix it right away and hold each other accountable. If someone's being careless or slow, speak up. The stronger the team, the bigger the bonus. Common questions: what if I work on multiple jobs? Your bonus is based on the percentage of time you spent on each job. If the customer gives a bad review for something we can't control, if it's not workmanship related, then we may still approve the bonus if they give a bad review just because they were being weird or something. I don't know. Be rare, but that would happen. What if someone on the crew makes a mistake but I did great? Doesn't matter. Work as a team. Make sure everyone does great. What if I want to check how much bonus I've earned? We'll keep track of performance pay job by job and update you on estimated payouts at the completion of job. Final takeaways: how to win big. This program is for high performers who want to make more money by working smarter. You win when the team wins. If you work efficiently, reduce waste, avoid callbacks, deliver high quality work, you'll earn extra money on top of your paycheck. Ferrobuilt isn't for average workers. If you're looking to just punch in, punch out, it's probably not the best place for you. But if you want to be one of the best in the business, work alongside a killer team and earn more than other crews, then this is the place to be. Let's build something great and get paid for it. And then there's an additional way to earn money as well as a lead referral bonus. So you can earn 2% commission on any leads you bring in that turn into closed sales. So if you know someone that needs some of the work done that we do, or we could do, then you refer them, you get 2% of that. So if you referred, say, a $100,000 job and it closed and we got the job, you'd get $2,000. And there's no limit to that. If you're bringing in leads and we're selling them, we make a lot of money. So keep that in mind if you know anyone that can use any of the work we do. So then we'll just sign this. This just shows that you understand it. This is just a recap of the whole thing, just saying how it works again. Okay, now this is just the tax forms to fill out. So there's 2 for you to fill out, 2 for you to fill out. Okay, and then the only other thing I'll need from both of you is direct deposit info. If you don't have that on you today, you can bring it tomorrow for getting paid. If you come over to this other office, I got some you just watch some videos on the TV for a little bit. Cassidy's getting the site ready, and these videos are just gonna kind of explain to you more of what we do, and that way too, with even with the 2%, where you want to, if you know someone that needs something done that we do, this way you'll have a little better understanding what we do. So today we're starting 2 new projects. We also just onboarded 2 new employees, and the projects that we're starting one at a dairy. We've done a bunch of work for them in the past, and we're going to be putting a new roof on one of their little lean-to sheds. It's gotten in bad shape and keeps getting wrecked from the snow hitting and stuff, so we're going to put a bit more slope so the snow comes off it. And we're also working on a house today where the foundation has been sinking, and we're going to excavate down to the bottom of the footings, take a look at what's going on. It's an ICF foundation, so we're hoping the wall is good and there isn't a void in the ICF. As long as that all looks good, the fix that we're going to do is we're going to put screw piles in. Techno metal post from Kelowna is going to come up, put the screw piles in, and we're going to jack that foundation back up to bring it back up to level. It's going to be supported by the screw piles, which are going to go way down, like 14 feet down into good ground, so that that never settles on them again. So that's the two projects we're starting today. Should have both those projects completed this week.
I'm going to talk to my kid probably today or tomorrow. Yeah, like I want him to like commit to an apprenticeship. He's gonna want it, but I think he'll probably agree to it because he wants to do something. He doesn't want to be just a laborer anymore. He likes to have some skill and, you know, maybe a little bit of respect or whatever, but respect is earned, and so he's gonna learn that as well. I don't know, I have high hopes for him. He seemed really, really different when I talked to him. Last night, he held his kid for the first time. But I'm gonna tell him, like, if you do this, if you come work with me, you're gonna have to commit to doing something, not just a job, but you're gonna go do an apprenticeship or something.
So Cassidy wants his son to come work with us. I haven't committed to hiring him. I haven't even interviewed him. He's going to have to go through the exact same process as anybody else. I'm not just hiring him just because he's Cassidy's son. A little worried about it, but it could be good. So we'll see what happens. I haven't decided. Well, I haven't even got an application from the kid, so he's got to apply. Got to go through the normal steps. Doesn't get special treatment that way, but we'll interview him and see how it is. Last time I had a father-son work here. The son had worked here for a few months, and then his dad needed work. Supposedly was experiencing construction, but he wasn't. He was experiencing pipeline construction, which is definitely not building buildings. And I think maybe it's a lot of sleeping in your truck. I don't know. Maybe not. But anyway, the father brought them both, or pulled his son downhill from where his son had been. And I ended up having to fire them both on the same day, which was kind of interesting. They just weren't getting anything done. They would go to site and get nothing done, which was my fault. I didn't have a good process, kind of abdicated the work, but yeah. Well, today was a good day. Started off the day onboarding 2 guys, and Cassidy fired one of them before the day was even over. So we got one more guy on the crew today, and we got rid of the one guy. That's how it goes sometimes. That was my fault. I shouldn't have hired him, but I wanted to give him a chance because I see potential in people that they don't see in themselves, and then they suck. And then I'm disappointed because they sucked and they didn't have to suck. Nobody has to suck. Everybody could be good. Everybody could be excellent, but some of them just seem like they want to suck, which is too bad. Today started off kind of funny, actually. There's that one I was telling you about that has the sinking foundation on the house, and it'd been a long time since I quoted it, and when the guys showed up to do it, and I went over the scope of work with them, and when they went over it with the customer, the client there, customer there, was thinking the scope of work was different than what we thought, or than what we thought we quoted. Anyway, we got it all sorted out. They were a little worked up at first. It's a stressful thing, right, when your house is sinking and we're coming to fix it. Anyway, we figured out that the initial scope of work that we were going to do is correct. It's the one corner is just sinking like crazy, so the wall must be cracked somewhere. I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's sinking pretty bad. And the guys were working at ripping that slab out today. A lot of work. Thick slab there for a patio, and then they'll be doing the excavation down to the footings where we're going to be able to put the screw piles in and underpin it and jack it back up to the right height, and it'll sit on those screw piles forever and be solid. Bunch of homes in that neighborhood that are sinking there in the Blind Bay area, and so we're going to see if we can get some more of those as well. So one thing we do every day is what I'm doing right now is we track how many hours we've taken versus how many hours we bid, and we share those numbers in our daily all-team meeting, and the crew is paid a performance bonus based on if they come in under hours. there's other criteria. The job has to be profitable overall. The customer has to leave a 5-star Google review. And so as long as that's done and they come in under hours, they get a portion of those hours as performance pay. So I'm just filling that in right now. We've got one job, we're at 136%, so we're over on that one. Should be at 100 if it was even, right? We're almost done that job, so it'll finish out right around there. We got another job we started yesterday that we're at 22%, and another job we started yesterday where we're at 34%. So we use Busy. It has a really nice dashboard. It's actually really reasonable price too, and we track to everything, like every cost code. Like if I open up this one where we went over, it's got a lot of cost codes. So you can see like the foundation wall took us 187% to what we thought it would. Drive time, actually, we're still under on that. And the piling part of the foundation took us a little less time than we thought it would. Setting posts and beams for some reason took us over 200% more time than we thought, which is kind of crazy actually. I have to look into that more. Exterior wall strapping took a little bit longer. The window framing and trim and insulation actually took under 50% of what we thought. Same with the man doors, same with the overhead door framing and trim. The roof framing took longer, and the rafter framing took way longer. Took 300%. So when I go back in here, I can see the main roof cladding took 586% of what we thought it would, and the rafter framing took 309%. So I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna adjust some of those things a little bit. And now the reason it did is because it's a smaller project. And so on a big project, the time it takes to do square footage is less than on a smaller. So what I got to do to get our program more dialed in is have it grab different numbers for different square footage ranges, and then it'll be more accurate. So we've got the program pretty accurate, but if we're on either extreme end of like really big or really small, then on really small it actually should price higher, and on really big it should actually price less. So we're good for most sizes, and then sometimes on those outer edges. And I do have some stuff set up for big builds, so I can get that more accurate, but I don't have anything for really small. So I could even just have a checkbox where it adds 20% or 25% on a smaller build. You can see some stuff took less time, like quite a bit of stuff took less time. So that's why overall we're only at 130%, even though we've got several things that are at 200%. So what I'm going to do with that information is go in and tweak our formulas a bit, because I want to have these all, say, at 80 or 90% is where we kind of want to be coming in at. If we're over 90%, that's a little sketchy because nothing can go wrong. So 80% is a pretty nice number to be at. Check out this one we're looking at. It's, let's see if you can see it, leaning pretty good. So I'm going to put some pricing together. I can see right away when it was built, the proper bracing was not put in the trusses. It's interesting, you can see they did this bookshelf framing or whatever. They have no bracing in the wall, so they have nothing to give it strength, like rack strength, except that the posts are in the ground, it looks like. So the easiest fix to this, we'd throw some braces on here, turnbuckles on the bottom, and we'd just crank it back over to where it's level, or we'd just bring in a zoom boom or skid steer and push it. Either way. Then what we're going to do is we'd add W bracing in here. They also have no bottom cord bracing, so I bet you these trusses are a little bit crooked. So what needs to happen is we'd add some crotchies in here, or bottom cord bracing, whatever you want to call it. So we'd run one down here, one here, one here. Then we're going to run W bracing. That's going to go from right near the wall out to the first bottom cord brace, back, out, back. That's going to give the building a lot of strength side to side and end to end. And then we may even want to add W bracing down the side wall, or wind bracing, that's called usually. That's going to strengthen it up. And then I'm going to recommend putting some knee bracing in. Even though these trusses aren't designed for knee bracing, if we run it right up through the bottom cord to the top cord, it's still going to give it some strength. And then a double brace at the back here. Actually, probably from the top to the bottom of that post and the top to the bottom of that post, and that's going to give it strength that way. And this will be solid. But the real problem with this one is the lack of bracing. Whoever put this together didn't have a clue what they were doing. and hopefully it was cheap. So that house that's sinking that the guys are working on, that's under the footing. You can see there's nothing under there, there's just space. No wonder it's sinking. And then what else you can see is that footing's not below frost. There's the concrete slab, and the footing is right under it, under the patio. So not frost protected, and also huge void under there, not compacted properly. When we pulled the patio slab out, there was also big voids underneath there as well. Crazy thing is, in that neighborhood, there's a whole bunch of houses sinking. So they had a really crappy builder in there years ago who did not do the work properly, and a lot of people are suffering the consequences now. Hopefully it was cheap. Morning. So our mission is to create exceptional experiences for our customers that change the way they see contractors and the construction industry. We hold ourselves and each other accountable to the mission, the vision, and the values. Disciplined, we do what we say we're going to do. Transparent, we share what our priorities are and why they're priorities so that everyone's on the same page. Aligned, we align the business goals with every team member's personal, professional, and financial goals so that when one of us wins, we all win. And of course, results oriented. Without results, nothing else matters. So our metrics for the day, we are 16% of the way through the month. We got 1 lead yesterday. We're at 2% on our lead target. 24 calls yesterday. We're at 6% to target on calls. Total deals, still 0 for the month. So 0 deals, 0 contract value sold. Cash collected yesterday was 0. We're at 20% on cash collected. We hired 2 guys yesterday and fired 1. And it wasn't Manny that got fired, as you can see. Yeah, you must rid yourself of the concept that success can be restricted in any way. Operating under this notion will hurt your ability to create success for yourself. There we go. Success is not limited or restricted in any way. Cool. Okay, have a great day. Be great. Nothing else pays. So that leaning building, we're going to build that building brand new for them. It's about 123,000, 124,000. If we want to push it back to level and then add screw piles under the post for them, we're about 114,000. So really only saves them 10 grand. If they want to just push it to level and not worry about the posts in the ground, looks fairly new, so they should be fine. They'll be all right. They'll be 33,000, 34,000 to get it back to level and brace, add all the proper bracing. But to fix it properly, I guess it saves 10 grand, 10 grand less than the cost of building a new building, plus you don't have to get rid of that one. It's just kind of crazy. That's the cost of not doing it right. Somebody probably put that building up for 20 or 30 grand 15 years ago, which would have been cheap then. Now they got to dump a bunch of money into it. These folks bought the property, I believe, so it came with the property. So not a bad deal for them, I guess, as long as they didn't pay extra for the property because it had this building. Hey, this is Duncan from Ferrobuilt. Hey, I've got some news for you. I don't know if it's good news or bad news, but I've got some numbers put together on that, fixing that barn for you based on Dawn's information when she stopped by yesterday. So she was telling me that you guys bought the place a few years ago and it was already like that or something, or it's leaned since you bought it?
Where the fill is the thickest, it all settled, and of course the barn is going to help with that, right? So, yeah, and that's what's happened. It's all just settled. And then for the first couple of years that we were here, now we've been here 12 years. And so the first couple of years that we're here, I parked my camper in. If you're looking at the barn, I parked the camper on the left-hand side, and it's on sawhorses and stuff. It'd be all nice and level, and I go out a few days later, and now it's it's low on the left-hand side. So yeah, the whole freaking thing's still sinking, right? So and has it started leaning more? I'm sure, in the 12 years, the early part, yes, it was. But last year I put a cable on a come along and to a lock block in that front right-hand corner. It's one, for peace of mind, but also two, that I could at least see if it's leaning more by, one would think that will start to drag the lock block, right? But I don't see any gaps or anything there at all, so.
Yeah, that's good. So,
Yeah.
I'm curious, I mean, you waited 12 years to fix it. Why do it now?
Because it looked ugly. And, we get the winds and stuff here. I'm not 100% sure that it's not going to come down.
It sounds like it'd give you a little peace of mind. It's probably on the back of your mind a lot whenever it's windy or something.
Oh, yeah, especially when I park my $100,000 motorhome in there, right?
You're brave. I was thinking I wouldn't be parking anything in there, but I guess if it's sat that way for 12 years, maybe you're pretty confident in it staying like that.
Well, the Leaning Tower of Pisa's been that way for how long, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I've put together a couple options for you. Do you have a pen and paper to jot this down? So one thing I noticed looking at it there is there's a bunch of bracing missing that we'd normally put in the roof that would probably have prevented it moving as much as it has. So that's one of the problems is, yeah, there's actually no bracing in the roof that's done properly. And then usually we put a brace on the back wall too, like a couple braces back there, so that would help as well. The basic option would be to push it back to level and add proper bracing so it's not leaning like that. If it's settled a bit on the one side there and it's lower, it might still be a bit lower on that side, but it would at least be standing straight up and down and not racked way over like it is there now. So that to do that would be $33,761. That's going to include putting in all the correct truss bracing. So we do the W bracing in the bottom, we'd put proper bottom cord bracing the whole way, and then we'd add wind bracing down one side. And we'd put knee bracing in it, so just like 4-foot knee braces from the post to the truss, which is going to make that a lot more solid as well. And then that rack bracing on the back wall that would brace that back wall up. And that price includes all the labor, equipment, material, everything we need to get that done. The other option I put in here was if you wanted to add a screw pile foundation under the post, which is how we build them all now. Keeps the wood out of the ground, keeps it, it won't ever settle on you that way. It adds a lot of cost to do that. It's right around $75,000 to put screw piles under all those posts. So basically, if you did both, you come out to $114,000 with tax. If we built a brand new one, it's $124,000 for that exact same building. I priced it out because I was looking at that myself, and I'm like, man, that's pretty dang close. But to just get it braced up, that $33,000, I mean, in my mind, that would be a good fix, and it's going to last you a long time. At least it's not leaning way over on you, and it'll stay solid. The next problem that you would have, which would be down the road, would be if you had a problem with the posts rotting or anything like that in the ground.
One of the things I thought about doing was, so if you're looking at the barn, and I don't know how deep he sunk those posts.
Right, and then it's just kind of excavating, like bracing the hell out of it, then digging down at the post, pushing it back over, right, and then could either put new, like a sonotube there, and then put strapping on it and cut the old posts, right? Maybe not even have to excavate it, just cut the old post, push it over, put it onto sonotube with saddles, and then maybe even just kind of scab on new posts, right?
Yeah. So that's similar to like the option of putting the screw piles in. With that, there's a lot of, so the reason that we usually opt for the screw piles when we do something like that, because we do quite a few where the posts have rotted off and we put screw piles in and set them in that. And the reason we do the screw piles is because you're not waiting on concrete to set up. So it's like a really slow process when you're trying to work along, because you can't really just chop all the posts off and then put concrete under them all. Like, it's got to sit on something, right? So when we do it with the screw piles, we just go along, we work along, one post at a time or two at a time, every second post, and we just work along, putting it in, and so it's right away it's sitting on something again. the reason it ends up costing so much to do anything with, I found even putting concrete under there be the same, if not maybe even more, is because there's all that, the walls are all built out already and strapped and tin on them. And
Right.
so there's a bunch of stuff that's got to come off to be able to work with it properly. Whereas if we just push it back with bracing, put the proper bracing in, push it straight, then it saves doing all of that. We can, we're basically just doing the bracing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's quite the sticker shock for me right now. But let me chew on that for a while.
Sure.
I'll take a look at some other options. Like one of the other things I thought about was just taking it down and then going and get one of those prefab metal ones, right? So.
Yeah, you could do something like that. I mean, in my opinion, for the 33 grand to brace it back to level is pretty good. Like that's going to be less than it costs to buy one of those prefab metal ones and put it up. That's for sure. And you'll still have a good building. You'll have a better building than it ever was, actually.
Awesome. Thanks, Duncan. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good day. Yep, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, let's call Joel and see what he said. Hey, Joel. Yeah, it's me. Sorry, I was on the wrong speakers and I couldn't hear you. But you're there now.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. Anyway, did you talk to Cassidy after our chat today?
Yeah, a little bit. You bet.
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, anyway, give me the Reader's Digest version.
The issue that we're running into is that dog kennel that was built that we commented on caused a bunch of issues with the municipality. And so basically what it is not to do with Part 9, but it has all to do with the occupancy of having living animals that are living in it. And that is what's dictating all of this. And basically, they said pretty much too bad, so sad, or get it mechanically engineered.
Okay, sounds good. And you've got the mechanical engineer, right?
I have a mechanical
On speed
engineer.
dial?
Not a problem. Oh, I do. Yeah, Carmel. So I got, and he's actually the guy that just did the kennel over on the other side too.
Oh, good. He's warmed up, ready to go.
He's warmed up. He already knows what he needs to do. And I was talking to Cassidy too about what you're about to do. We also have to make sure that liability, right? Because I don't want you guys being liable for any of this too, right? That wasn't discussed prior to you guys' quote and stuff, right?
Yeah, there's not much I'm worried about. We're basically helping them, like we're doing the management of it, or organizing and coordinating and everything, but he's paying everybody directly. So like he'll be paying you directly, he'll be paying the engineers directly, he's paying for the fire plan directly, like it's all,
Nice.
they're paying us for the building, paying everybody else directly. I'm not running anything through us for this, so.
I talked to my plumber about the fire hydrant, this problem, and he said that is so common on that bench, it's not even funny.
Okay.
He goes that they actually put the hydrants to the wineries on the bluffs because there's no hydrant. So it is a more common thing than we think.
So what do they do? Like they have to put a new hydrant in?
They put a new hydrant. So what that happens is the city brings in a 6-inch line to the property line.
Yeah.
And then the plumber on file then goes and ties onto that 6-inch line and then has to install it as per all the specifications of the city of Penticton.
Yeah.
And then they test it as per the city of Penticton, sign off, and you're done. But he says it is expensive.
Okay.
So, but yeah, no, I got pretty much everything. So you just tell me what you need from me now on the mechanical engineering side, if that's the route that we should go, which I think it is for everyone's sanity. And I will get moving on, and I will get whatever you need.
Yeah, so I guess pricing on everything, get things moving. The biggest thing is they want to get it done this summer, so we need to basically whatever the quickest paths are to keep things moving forward and get this permit in and approved.
Oh, I'm on it. So let me get that done, and then why don't we touch base a little bit later here?
Okay. Sounds good.
Done deal. Okay,
perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
You bet.
So mechanical engineering, Is that like a threefold thing? Electrical, plumbing, HVAC?
I think so, yeah. I don't know about the electrical part, it's for sure the HVAC
HVAC and plumbing.
and plumbing, I think,
Let's ask
but I don't
Chat.
know for sure.
Let's ask Chat GPT.
Yeah, Manny will be good, eh?
Oh yeah.
As long as we can keep him busy enough, because he needs to work lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing he told me, he's like, I need to work, he'd work 7 days a week if we had 7 days a week to work. I was like, well, we take Sundays off for sure, but I'm like, there's probably usually someone that'll work Saturday with you. If one guy's game, another guy will usually be game to work on a Saturday. Because it might be a different guy every Saturday, and as we get more guys, there'll be more guys that'll want to work on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
If we have the work, then we'll do it. Not typically.
Not typically covered. So electrical is not typically covered. Okay, so plumbing, typically by plumbing engineers or mechanical subspecialists.
I think we're letting Joel handle that.
I just want to learn, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go down this route, but I've never been able to find a place to even start doing it.
Like, I could care less what that crap, I'm not even interested.
I-
So that's good, you're interested.
Yeah, I am.
Because
Very,
this stuff like drives me nuts. I'm just like, I don't even want to know. Just freaking get it done
yeah,
so we can build the building.
just get it in.
Get it done. I hate all the crap and the politics and stuff. So I forwarded you the email from her, and I sent this to Scott already.
What's that? Structural engineering to cover foundation.
There was a bunch of stuff they needed, so you'll see in the email I sent you. Which you can use this now. As you use this to get used to it, it'll be a lot easier to use. Do you see the one I forwarded to you? So I got him to send me the gutter drawings that she wanted. So Scott can do some of that other stuff if we need. I'd only sent him the structural engineering stuff, but he does have that drafter, so he can do some of that other stuff we have to.
Like the site plan foundation.
Well, the site plan Daniel should have, so I was gonna send him an email about it, because they already, so the way that this one worked, for not for the addition, but for the 30 by 50.
Okay, so the new shop.
For the new shop, so 30 by 50, and gonna get the steel building guy to do it, and the guy took a deposit and disappeared, and
harsh.
didn't do the building. So they got partway through the permit application, so it's the same footprint, so the site plan's the same. I don't know why she's asking for a new one. So you might even be able to tell her that it's the same site plan as the old one.
So
It's in the exact same spot as the previous permit.
so she has the site plan?
Yeah, she should have the site plan already. She's asking for it, but she should actually have it already. So you just give her a call tomorrow and get it sorted out. But as far as the funny, you know how it's similar to this one where they're like, oh, we need all this stuff, but they're way more lax. Like we can put for the heating, we can just say it's heated by baseboard heaters.
Okay.
We just have to have that typed on there,
Type
on the plans,
Are they, what kind of plans? Like just.
like on the smart build plans or whatever.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's a way that we can modify it easily. There might be.
So all she needs, so she has the site plans, she should have the site plans already, right?
Yeah, she should, yeah. I don't know why she asked for them.
Site plans, I'll just put quick. And then the foundation walls and roof insulation and R value. Is that Scott taking care of that? That's not structural, isn't it?
It's not structural.
Okay.
It doesn't show up on our smart build plans, which I'm gonna make a modification to them so it does, but I won't have that done yet. So all that needs to be is, you know, that it's the same thing as that other one we were just looking at, is on this page here.
Yeah.
It says wall material black tough rib 29 gauge. It needs to have the whole assembly. It needs to say like
R28, 2 foot on center.
Yeah, it needs to have the assembly. Basically, think of it as going from outside to inside. So it would say black tough rib 29 gauge, house wrap, 2x6 purlins, and then it would say whatever the insulation is, R28,
2 foot on
bad
center.
insulation, and then it would go to, there's no 2 foot on
Vapor
center,
barrier.
worry, because it's already got all that marked. Then it would
Yeah.
go vapor barrier, and then it would go
Metal.
purlins, and then tough black or white tough rib 29 gauge or whatever. So it would go through like that.
Okay, I got you.
So that's where we can probably just type that in on here if we can edit. There's probably a way to edit PDFs, right? And just type it in.
Am I doing it or you?
Well, I don't want to do it. But we also could get Holly to do it if we tell her what to say.
Okay, because I
Holly.
haven't even gone in on that program yet.
Holly, can you come in here for a sec? Do you know how to edit a PDF?
Maybe.
Can you learn
Yeah.
how? Because I don't know how, so I can't teach you.
Like just on Google Docs.
Yeah, so here, just look. Can you see the screen here for a sec? Sorry, my house is a disaster. See this? Let me put it over here. So we have this plan in here. It says a PDF in the drive, and I can show you where that is. But we need to add some more writing on it in here, some more details. We just need it to be written in here, typed in here. So can you figure out how to edit the PDF?
Yeah.
And I'll just send this over to you, this one.
Okay.
And then you can just edit it with what we want to put there. So we'll tell you what to put there, and it would go right here. Just you figure out how to edit and everything, and then once you have figured out how to edit a PDF, then tell us,
Okay.
and then we'll tell you what to put, and we'll tell you where to put it.
Okay. I'll figure
We
it
just
out.
don't want to have to figure out how to do it.
Alright.
Thanks. Yeah, so anyway, with this stuff, we keep getting distracted here. The main building permit's been submitted. We haven't submitted the one for the addition form yet.
Okay, the main building.
If we can figure out how to type these details on, we should be good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll forward you this. To Cassidy. This is for the screw piles for it, so I'll have to ask them for the engineered report, so that which then they'll want to get us to pay the $9.95 or whatever it is for the engineered report.
These guys are gonna charge us for that?
Yep, the Technometal post.
Okay.
But
well,
she wants the foundation details in
for
that
the
email.
addition
No, for the
the main
main
one.
shop. So all that info that she needs is for the,
is for the
main
main
one.
one. Oh,
but
okay.
you know she's gonna need the same info for the addition.
Okay.
So when we submit the addition one, we just wanna submit it with all the same info.
So we're doing two different applications?
Yep.
Okay, and then, so one is the main 30 by 50?
Yep.
Okay, and then after we get that run through and approved,
Well, we wanna apply for the other one right away too,
okay.
cause he wants to start building it soon.
So no application has been made yet for the
For the addition, no.
addition? Okay.
No. Exactly.
Can we do that online?
She seems pretty good with emailing stuff, so I would just ask her when you talk to her.
Okay, just say, hey, can I apply for,
Yeah, tell her that they wanna do another one. She's pretty familiar with it. They also have an open building permit for another building still that they haven't built yet.
okay, so she's aware of that there's an addition then?
She's not aware of the addition,
Okay.
but she knows this
That there's
job
more
and
going
stuff.
on.
Yeah, so just ask her how, if you can apply by email or whatever. Cause we got moved on to this one by email. I've never had to go in, but it was already submitted, so that might have been why. But we sent the plans and everything by email to her. We never printed them.
Then I should just focus on the main building mostly for now, for like the moment. Just see what she has.
Yeah, once you have the main building figured out, you're gonna have the addition figured out, cause
So
it'll be
then
the
it-
exact same requirements.
So the screw piles, you've been quoted, they've been
We've
quoted?
been quoted, but we haven't got the engineered drawings yet.
And they're providing it?
Yeah, but we need to pay them for it.
Okay,
We need to request them and then pay them for it.
okay,
So I forwarded you the email with the quote, so you'll be able to get a hold of the guy and say, hey, we need the
Okay.
drawings, and then he'll
request,
be able to send us an invoice or whatever for the drawings.
invoice, and drawings.
Yeah, we need the, cause remember that satisfies the geotech stuff too, like it did in
Oh, yeah,
Penticton?
okay, so request invoice and drawings. So I'm gonna be calling her to see what she has,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what we know she might have already, the structural plans, the engineer, SEL engineering, and possibly the site plans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give her the rain gutter drawing
Mm-hmm.
and anything else she needs.
Yep.
Call her what she needs or has or whatever. And then, so all this stuff is for the main building permit,
Mm-hmm.
and we still need the permit for the addition.
But like afterwards being like right away kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, this is, request the invoice invoice and drawings of stamp drawings for micro piles. Or
For the screw
screw
piles.
piles.
And then we need to do those wall assemblies that she's trying to figure out how to edit. And once she can edit that, we can just tell her.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the same thing. It's gonna be 29 gauge metal, roofing underlay, 2x6 purlins. And what else did we want to put on there? Insulation. And then
And then the trusses.
I don't think the trusses need to be part of it, do they?
Well, you
In
on
the
the other one
assembly.
you did purlins, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't do the posts.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure the assembly is just, they want to know how it's insulated. So we'll try it, and maybe they are, and she'll tell us, and we'll just go and Lumen and fix it. But then it's the vapor barrier and then the metal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it made it, I think.
Wall assemblies are done. Roof assemblies are done.
There it is, it's this new one. So I'm just gonna go, what I do when I make edits, I don't like to get rid of them, old plans. I just save them, just in case you need to go back, you know what I mean? So then I just make a, oops, that's the new one, an old plans folder and put the old plans in, so they're not all muddled in here,
Yeah.
but now it's the new ones.
Okay. And that's in the drive. Okay.
Yeah.
Down here. Okay.
So that should have our edits to it.
Okay. So I can just. All right. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're
call her.
19.34 feet height from average grade to peak.
Yeah.
And then
Wall
wall
assembly.
assembly, roof assembly, which kind of got over top of something, but that's okay. Roof assembly, wall assembly, roof assembly. We got them everywhere.
So roof and walls are done.
Yeah. So you'll just have to send that to her.
Well, this is all pretty easy.
You bet. That'll be easier than the other one, I think.
And then this is gonna help you.
This?
This is all helping you.
Oh yeah. Because I don't have to do it. It's been sitting here. This should already all be done, like months ago. Like I've been we sold the job in like October. So like the guy is probably getting a bit antsy now. The customer. At one point he's like, oh, we're not in a rush to get the building built, so I kind of backburnered him in my mind, which was a
Just
super
abuse that.
mistake on his part. To
Just
tell me that.
abused what he said.
Yeah, like he should not have told me that. Because he was like, originally it was like gonna be a spring build,
Yeah.
and then he's like, no, it probably won't be till later in the summer, and then instantly it was just like took everything else built in front of him.
Well, it is kind of later in the summer. It's not even summer yet.
You know, but we're getting there where I'm like, now it's stressing me out because I think about it every single day. Like I'll wake up at night and be like, frick, I gotta get that wood stuff
So you
done.
have okay, sure. So we should get the main building approved first, and then
No, I wouldn't worry about getting it approved. I would get all that stuff. I would like take care of that stuff and then also apply.
Okay, so get all the requirements she needs for the permit for the main building.
Yeah, because then you'll know you're gonna need the exact same stuff for the addition.
Okay, cross check.
So then you would just go, here's the checklist of stuff. You know, you don't have to keep going back and forth for the addition. We just give her everything right away.
Okay.
Okay?
So what does she need that?
Yeah.
Is that
She
like the
has
site
this.
plans?
She already
Oh,
has this.
What is it?
That's the site plan.
Oh, okay.
See, here's the zoomed out version. There's the house. There's the other shop he's gonna build. And here's the one we're doing right now.
Okay.
There's his current shop. And then this is the zoom in of it. Here's the rock pits
Okay.
and everything.
So the
showing on it.
addition is on his house or what?
No, the addition is gonna be on the end of that shop here,
Oh, yeah, I see that.
right here.
Ah, okay. So there's there's three
No.
existing buildings right now.
No, just this and this.
Oh, okay.
This is one he's got a permit for, but he hasn't built yet.
Ah, so
Okay, well, that's the original one he contacted me about.
and that's not the one that's in question.
No,
It's
yeah,
one.
it's this one here.
Okay.
That's why that one's cut off on here.
Okay. Is there drawings of the addition in here in the drive? Or are we just talking like the application stuff right now?
Yeah, there's drawings in there too. If you look in there, you'll see them.
So you were addition permits.
Yeah, and then the drawings are just chucked in there, they're not in their own folder. So there's
This thing,
the engineered truss drawings.
this is roof.
Yeah, I think those are stamped. I think that's it doesn't say not for permit application, so those are the for permit application ones. So you've got those already. And
So I
then
just have to
you've got the
submit that.
structural.
So I have to submit that, okay, yeah.
Yep. And then we're just applying for it as not insulated.
So I don't need to get these,
No, we already have those.
we already have it for the main one.
We don't have them for the main one.
Need for
You
the
need
main,
them for the
okay.
main, but not, we haven't, stuff is all over the map right
That's
now.
okay, yeah. Yeah, so this one's gonna be addition roof.
Profile, I would leave the profile part and I would just type truss, whatever, addition truss profile or something in front of it, addition truss, because otherwise you'll have, that would keep the naming clear, right? Because there's the truss layout and the truss profile.
Yep. Yeah, I see the roof. Okay, and then the layout, this layout is for the addition.
No, yeah, that's all this stuff's for the addition that you're looking at. So we don't have truss drawings for the
So the
main building.
addition is 20 by 30, okay. I'm gonna rename that to that.
And then when you apply for the permit, it says a storage, non-insulated.
Okay.
Keep it simple.
Storage non-insulated for the addition.
Yeah, it's gonna attach to the front of their current shop, but it's just gonna be for storage. It's gonna have a door between and whatever, like we're not gonna, and that might change, but we just wanna get the
Right.
permit the easiest way, right?
Storage non-insulated.
Which is how you should have applied for this other permit.
That's for, I'm good with this, if you're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
Get on her tomorrow. Yep,
I think we're good. I'm good.
I'm happy.
How'd it go today? Boring?
Boring. It's never boring here. What are you talking about?
Excavating's boring. Wow. 10 feet all unsupported? Like length?
With just nothing on
Oh, nothing. Oh, that's cool. What does it look on the inside of their house? Yeah. This one job I was doing out in Cochrane in Alberta, these people's houses were ripping away from their garage and sliding downhill. Like they're basically, their house was running away from the garage.
Okay, get out of here. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think and you're distracting me.
Oh, fine. I'm distracted.
Get out. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to do something and like all I'm listening to is Wyatt because it's hilarious. See you, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, that's a wrap for the day. Locking up the office here. Killing the lights. And it was a good day. Got on the one site there briefly. And Manny, who we hired recently, just this week, is seeming to be an excellent choice, excellent employee. He's really going to do well here. Going to have a lot of success here at Ferrobuilt, so that's always encouraging. And that job that they were on's progressed well. The one up in Flying Bay with the sinking house is also progressing well. They're ready for screw piles there now pretty much. They got a little bit of slab left to cut out, a little bit of excavation left to do, but just a few hours. And they are going to be finished up with that. I quoted this investigation, we called it, to see why it was sinking. And we figured out why it was sinking. There's just nothing under the footings. So there was a void under there. So that was why it was sinking. Got that figured out. And I'd given them ballpark numbers, kind of a bit of a guess just based on past projects we've worked on what it would cost to do the underpinning. And it looks like we're going to come in on the low end of that ballpark range for that, which is really exciting. It's always nice to be able to not be over your range. So yeah, coming in a little under on that. Gonna give them that proposal tomorrow and see what they decide. I mean, there's not many decisions for them to make. They're obviously going to need the underpinning. We're going to lift it back up fix that up, and then we'll pour a new slab. But that's the option. They could choose not to get a new slab, and maybe they want to put pavers in or some junk. But I'm gonna recommend the slab, give them a price on it, and we'll for sure be selling them underpinning, and then hopefully sell them a slab as well. And the boys will get that wrapped up pretty close this week. I think screw piles are going to be able to go in Thursday or Friday, and then a little backfill, maybe Saturday, work a little on the backfill, and definitely on Monday. And it shouldn't take long to backfill. The biggest thing slowing that job down a bit is the access is really poor. There's no way into the yard really that's very good, and we got to get all the concrete slab out of there that we ripped out. So yeah, going pretty good overall. That job's going better than I expected, actually. We're finding pretty much exactly what I expected, and overall the progress is going a little better than expected, which is always how you want to keep it. And after that, we should be onto these warehouse roofs, or it's like working for another like a project management company or something, and they're just really seem to be slow with the back and forth. So he said plan on being there next week, so we're planning on it. They don't usually plan on being anywhere until we get a deposit, but I guess we'll plan on this one, and hopefully gets a deposit in before the end of the week, and we'll get there and bang that one out. Should take, depends on what all we do. It could be a serious project. We might be doing full 20,000 square foot roof replacement on the one end. It's what I've recommended. So we'd be we're already replacing about 40,000 square feet of screws, and then we'd be replacing another 20,000 square feet, replacing all the metal and new screws is what I'm recommending, because the metal's corroded really bad. But if we don't do that, what we'll do is do a screw replacement on that too. So we're going to be total, we're actually around 70,000 square feet or just under of roof screw replacement. It's pretty cool. Good sized job. Trying to get more of those, we did that interior recycle one, that was 12,000 square feet. Trying to get more of those commercial ones, bigger volume, get the guys in there, bang it out, you can get some momentum on them. That being said, I still want to do these other smaller projects for people, because our goal is to change the way they see contractors in the construction industry, and by giving them exceptional experiences, and whether that's on a huge project or it takes us a few hours, we can create an exceptional experience with everyone. And I like keeping that, the maintenance, the smaller maintenance side going as well. It's good for filling in the gaps. It's like, here's a stack. How I think it'll play out, and we'll see how it goes, is as we get more of those little ones, we'll kind of have a stack of them that we just, we've got a day, we can bang out 3 of them, they'll kind of float in the schedule and just get dropped in as they can. Tomorrow I got to get my emails cleaned up a bit more. I got through 500 of them today and deleted most of those. I prioritize responding to clients and then any active stuff we have going on. And then there's other stuff that kind of just has to fall back, because it's just the way it is right now, until I get back to running with a full-time personal assistant again. Right now we've got part-time, we've got Holly there in the office part-time as an assistant, but we got to get back to full-time eventually. She's going to be full-time office assistant in the summer, which will be good, but then she's back to school again in the fall, so we'll see how that goes, what I gotta do next fall. But at least I have a bit of time before I have to really worry about it. I got her working on, we're actually gonna be having a new website coming out sometime probably in the next month or two. It's gonna be a much more useful website. The one we have right now is okay, but it's a little bit on the confusing side. Just too much going on. So we're gonna try and make it more clear, try and guide people down the path, whether they're coming in for a new build or they're coming in for repair and maintenance, and we can split them and send them the right direction for either of those. and then give them options once they're into that. Good morning. On the schedule today, we are finishing up that little roof rebuild we were doing at the dairy farm there, or ex-dairy farm. They haven't had cows there for a couple years. And then I've got a few sales calls today. How's it going this morning?
Pretty good.
Getting her figured?
Oh yeah. Trying to do the 360 videos.
Sweet.
Yep. It's under 2 hours as of right now.
Really? That's awesome. Yep. Sick.
Yeah.
Do you like how I'm just POVing this by holding it? Because I didn't feel like putting the thing on.
Yes.
Then it makes it hard to like open cheese though.
Most of this entire episode is just you eating cheese. There's so much.
Like that big chunk of cheese that I bought when I was with Cassidy.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
There we go. Super weird. This coaching call is just, usually they're good, but this lady has been asking way too many questions for the last half hour and they're very low value to me. It happens sometimes. Just on my way to an on-site meeting. I'm going to be looking at putting in a shop for this fella here in Salmon Arm. Nice 40 by 50. And I met him at the home show. He's looking at building it into the bank, so it's going to be a good one. We'll take a look at what sort of space he's got and options for that, and get him some pricing today. And the plan is to get contracts signed. That's my intention anyway, get contracts signed, get something on the schedule for him, start working on the engineering and the permitting. We'll see what we can do. So there's one thing that I've learned, and I still have to remind myself once in a while, and I realized why just now, but it's that until you've got a check in the bank, you ain't got nothing. And that's why we always get a deposit, because people will completely BS you right up until a few days before a project. We just had a guy, he told me he's had our quotes for months, 2 months or more, on doing some work on these roofs and some other work. He's had all those quotes, he's had the numbers. He called me the other day, he said, hey, we got possession of the place, we're gonna get this work done, and we're gonna get you to do this, this, and this, and send us a price on some other work. But overall, he had all the numbers except for the one. And then yesterday, he said, we're 100%. I was like, okay, so are we putting this on the schedule, or what's happening? Like, I've got some gap in the schedule next week, and I need to know, because I'm going to put you on there, or else I'm going to bring something else up ahead. I need to know for my schedule. Yesterday, he tells me, yep, 100%, put it on there. We're doing it. Like, no question, put it on there. Like, it wasn't even a pencil in thing. I'm like, okay, well, we do need the deposit. He said, yep, send the invoice through. Everything's good. Calls me today, this afternoon, and says that, he says, no, we're stopping it all. We're not doing any of it. I just added the numbers up, and it's cost too much. We can't put this much into it. We're not going to put any of it into it. And just like the complete opposite. So I don't know if I 100% believe all that, but anyway, it just seems really weird. Like, if you're managing a project, why, like, 3 days before you've supposedly scheduled the work for, are you suddenly like, oh, this is over budget, when you've had the numbers for months? Like, at least 2 months, maybe more. It seems very strange to me, and either very poor project management, or he's not telling me the full story. It's irritating because I hadn't put it on the schedule, but there was a job I was going to pull ahead. Well, now we are going to pull it ahead, and we didn't pull it ahead because I was like, you know what, he sounded pretty dang certain, and that's where I didn't have the money. Sorry, nothing goes on the schedule till we have the money. Not sorry, actually, because nothing goes on the schedule. If you don't have the deposit, it ain't going on the schedule. and on that one it's 50% deposit. He didn't like that. He didn't want to pay us any deposit either. Like, that's what, with these project management kind of guys, like, you always have to tell them you need a deposit, and maybe that's it, but I didn't seem to get that out of him. It was just, he suddenly actually decided to be actual project manager and realized it was way over. Anyway, kind of crazy, but it was a lot of work. Like, it was like a couple good solid weeks of, 12-hour days to get it done, and for the whole crew. And all of a sudden he's just like, no, we're not doing it. We'll see what happens. He said he still might get a hold of me and we might do something, but it sounded like he's more like, well, you're gonna have to sharpen your pencil kind of thing. It's like, hey, it ain't my fault if you messed up your budget. I'm not, I can look and see what we can do, but it's not like I'm gonna give you 50% off and lose money to do your job for you. Maybe they should have hired a more competent manager. There's my rant for the day. Maybe he'll watch this and then we definitely won't get the job. Hey, we got another 5-star review today though, so there's that.
All right, it's recording. Look like you're working. Quick.
Yeah, I do need one more.
Had to pull all this off again to extend our metal. So trying to do this off without completely tearing it apart, which is pretty much what I did anyway. Maybe I should have. I actually don't like these Irwin snips.
Like for these ones, right? It's post to post. This one, do this one last. I guess, but this is post to post, right? So this is 16 height. So I would go, I would go 18 under, so you guys can get it in. But yeah, so go at least 8 inches under the width. And yeah. Just go ahead and do it before you install the house. You guys cut these here. You guys give her a
You're gone.
So let's go rapid fire. Your ripper dipper. Just got Guess what I get to do on the weekend?
What's that?
Go to Costco. But then I have to go to the mall, so it's like kind of like bittersweet. But there's a Taco Bell in the mall. We have to make sure we're far enough out. That's all fine. Okay, these are the right kind of screws. That's good. We have two up here. Makes it like that.
You do? Oh, okay.
I feel that.
Two words, delete button.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, so those won't do it because that's what was existing, right? But you know, Will, that one right there, we don't need that. That was the original centerpiece. It's just changed. The whole setup's changed. Okay? Thank you.
Oh yeah, she said it was very pleasant to work with.
That's good.
Hey, maybe I should just pull a Josh and move this thing while you're dangling in the air.
I'll pee on you.
I'll pee on you.
Mine was 75 and a quarter. I don't know if yours would be the same actually. It won't. It's all piece.
Just headed into the office here this morning. Today I've got a bunch of one-on-ones to do. So I have one-on-ones with any direct reports, which is most people that work here at Farrellville right now. There's just a couple people that I don't have one-on-ones with that are out in the field. But in the one-on-ones, it's basically to make sure that they all have metrics they track, that they have to be hitting certain metrics, and so it's making sure they're hitting those numbers, and that's the main point of the one-on-one. And then after that, we look at any updates or ideas from them, anything that they think would make us more efficient or make it a better company, give a better experience to our customers, anything like that. So there's usually some decent updates that come out of that. Well, that's a wrap on the day, just about. Not quite, actually. I gotta go do building assessment on the way back, right near my place. And they might want some new builds as well, so I'm gonna go give them some options on whatever they need there. Decent day. I did have a customer call and want to cancel a job they already booked. They already paid a deposit on and everything. Just a smaller job. And they're stressing out about spending the money on it, so I'm gonna give them a call tomorrow. It kind of caught me off guard. I should have just talked them through it there, but I didn't know what to do. But I will be calling them back tomorrow, like I told them. Like, if they spend the money on the project, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? Like, are they gonna actually starve to death, or run out of food, or won't be able to pay their mortgage, won't be able to retire? Like, really, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I should have just done that on the call with them, but my brain wasn't rolling because I was surprised that that's what they were calling about. I did get in contact with a guy today that's wanting a decent sized building, and was going back and forth with them on a few options. And it's near Falkland, which is pretty cool because no permits required there. It's awesome. I love that. about that area. We've done a few builds out there, and I think there should be more areas like that in BC, but unfortunately there isn't. Love fixing up the old buildings. I think that's some of the coolest work, because you're saving something that someone put a lot of effort and time into back in the day, 40, 50 years ago, maybe even longer. And now we're bringing it back to life. Future generations can enjoy them. I always think it's a good option. We didn't used to offer the repair and maintenance stuff much, and then I realized how much of it there is, as well as got the satisfaction of it. Actually, it's probably more satisfying than building a new building. There was a big accident today, it looked like, over here. The highway was closed down. I saw the air ambulance fly in. Lots of cops going by. Need this address. They even had even the ghost cops were running their lights, which usually they don't. We sold some more of our $17 building plans, which is cool. I always like that. And tried to call the guy today to see if he got everything he needed, but I could not get a hold of him. Need to get outside more. Locked up in my cave in the office too much. I really miss being on the tools a bunch. Maybe down the road I can spend a bit more time on the tools, but I highly doubt it, because the thing is, you got to run a business, and it's hard to run a business if you're wearing a tool belt all the time. Good morning. Just doing my training on Cardone U. It's good stuff. Trailer is here right now because we're waiting on a couple jobs. That thing's got to go get some new tires and axle alignment here pretty quick too. And I'm headed in to the office. Today's going to be a good day. I've got several sales calls today, video calls, and then I have to go stop at the place I stopped last night. I did inspections of some of their buildings. They want to build some new ones, and it was right around supper time. I knew they had supper waiting, so I didn't sit there and do the quotes there. It would have took me about an hour or more, so I'm going to do those today and swing by on my way back home. They're just down the road from me, and present them with a whole bunch of different options. That's one thing I like to do, is give people a lot of options, because if you just give them, say they're like, oh, this is what for example, one of theirs, the roof is leaking and condensating and dripping on everything in their garage, storage garage. So I'm going to give them several options, and option one is just going to be simple screw replacement. It's going to be the cheapest option. Option two would be take the roofing off, add the underlay, put the roofing back on, new screws. Option three is going to be all of that but new roofing as well, which that's the option I'm actually going to recommend. And then option four is going to be like the premium option, where they would insulate the inside and vapor barrier it. And then option five, there's going to be 5 options just for this one little roof. Option 5 is going to be the insulate it, vapor barrier, and put a ceiling liner in there, so it looks nice. It'll brighten it up, and that's might be the option I recommend, depending on how they feel with their budget. But it's going to be one of those 2 options that I recommend, and then the other ones are just if like those 2 don't work for them, they don't see the value in them, they can go with something less or more or whatever. And then I've also got a lady coming in today who is in the interview process for sales, so that's cool. She would be doing it all remote, so all video call sales, which will allow us to reach a lot of people. There'll still be people we have to do on-sites for, and that's the ones I would take care of, and then she'd be set up with all the video ones. We'll see how that goes. Looking forward to that. She's coming in to do the core value interview today, which is where they do a presentation on their core values, and then we ask them some questions, not on their core values, on our core values and how they fit in their life. yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And tomorrow's Saturday, and I have several appointments tomorrow. It's gonna be a jam-packed day. I have 2 booked in, and then I have 2 tentative ones that I'm gonna set up today. So I'm gonna be putting some miles on tomorrow as well, and trying to get a couple of those sold. Those ones are all for new builds, actually. And I've talked to most of them and given some of them pricing. So should be able to close some deals. Hopefully today and tomorrow, because I need to get some closed. We're lagging hard on the sales side. And if I get some of these repairs sold at the place just down the road here, I can actually put some guys on it right away. So that would be nice to just get in there and start working on it right away. Screw piles are awesome. They're a great foundation because they're structurally engineered and geotechnically engineered. So as long as you don't have like super really chunky rocky ground and you don't have bedrock, screw piles are the way to go in our opinion. And then we mount each post on a screw pile around the building, and so each post is on its own screw pile. Each screw pile is designed for the load that's on that post and for the uplift, and it's a solid foundation system. So there's a bracket welded on top of the screw pile that holds the post, and it works great. It's doesn't make a big mess from excavation like you'd have a bunch of excavation usually for any other foundation type, right? If you're going to put in concrete pilings, or you're going to put in a concrete wall, or you're just going to throw wood in the ground, you still got to dig. The screw piles, it's just clean. We've put them into lawns, you don't even know we're there hardly. It's pretty cool. They're a good option for decks and stuff like that too, if you're building a deck or something on your house and you don't want to mess up your nice lawn. That's a wrap on the day. Take some garbage out here. Hold on. And that's a wrap on the weekdays, but we still got the weekend. The week ain't over yet.